this week we are feeling like Ariana Grande. The light is coming to get back everything the darkness stole. I said the light is coming to get back everything the darkness stole. Indeed, welcome to this week's Cosmic Weather Report. I am indeed your astrologer, Graham Breitenstein, and it is indeed the Cosmic Weather Report for the week of July 18th through the 24th, 2022. Welcome. I hope that you have had an amazing week leading up to the beginning of this one. I know that with Cancer season and Mercury in Cancer and now Venus in Cancer, you know, those planets are sitting opposite Pluto. So they are they are riling up, and with last week's Capricorn full moon sitting right next to, which was a supermoon, which was sitting, you know, real nice and pretty next to Pluto. You know, infrastructures fall, structural components, they dissolve, they get, there's just, it does a lot. It does a lot to your infrastructure. So you can just think about, what are the infrastructures of your relationships? What about the infrastructure of your job? What about the infrastructure at home? The sun in Cancer is like bringing it all home and saying, what goes on behind closed doors now comes to the light. And that is what that Capricorn full supermoon last week kind of was like. Here's the initiation. Here's the it brought something to your attention. Whether you knew it was brewing or whether you didn't know, it brought something to your attention. Well, now, folks, this week, we have a lot of things to talk about. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. But this week, one of the things to note is that we've got Leo season beginning. Now, that's at the end of the week, but when Leo season begins, oh, we get the summertime festivities, we get the joy, we get the live loud, live proud, dress bold, you know, look glamorous, be seen, get out, travel. You know, it's just the time when the sun is high, the days are long, and the nights are just, it's that perfect, like, breeze. Depending on where you are. Here in California, it's got that, like, you know, really, really hot during the day, and then at night, it's like, oh, this is so beautiful and manageable. But before we get to Leo season, this is the caveat. We've got Mercury and the Sun this week opposing Pluto. So we're going to pick up on last week's Capricorn full supermoon, and now Mercury's going to deliver a message about what came to light, and then the Sun is going to absolutely expose what was going on in the shadows. Now, sometimes this can be the shadow of your mind. What have you buried? Pluto buries things. The ruler of Scorpio, it buries, it hides. You know, it keeps secrets. There's a vault to Pluto's energy. But when the Sun, Mercury, and Sun and Moon last week with that full moon, when they all get together and oppose this energy, Mercury's going to say, well, you know, I can travel between the light and the dark. And so now that I've, plunged down to the dark, I'm going to send my message up through the cosmic airwaves and say, hey, this is what's been going on down here. And the Sun's going to go, oh, word? That's what's been going on? Okay, let me shed some light on this in a big way. So we are carrying forth that story from last week's full moon into the front half of this week. So let me just go ahead and tell you, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are powerful, potent days. You know, we've got Mercury opposite Pluto, the Sun opposite Pluto. We have on Wednesday the Aries Quarter Moon, which yanks on that full moon in Capricorn and said, okay, what's coming to the surface, what's coming to consciousness, now I have to decide what is blocking me. What's keeping me from that next step of my growth, my next step of my manifestation, the next step of my expansion into the new chapter that I'm entering, right? Remember, we're at that halfway point of the calendar year, and I've been saying, look back to your last 6 months and pull out those defining moments. And of those defining moments, do you want to continue with those moments and expand and grow and take them into another level? Or are you more so feeling like there weren't so many defining moments, and now you're ready to change that and say, you know what, I no, that doesn't work for me. I'm not happy with, if you were just left with the last 6 months of this year, would you be like, oh yeah, I mean, I rocked my year? And if it's yes, by all means, keep going, keep riding that train, keep working for yourself, keep making things, keep creating and giving and growing and expanding. That is, and exploring your beliefs. We have Jupiter retrograde next week. So now we're really going to be looking at how have the things, because Jupiter's in Aries, remember, and now he will back up into Pisces later on this year, and he's going to wrap up that story. And then he's going to enter Aries, where he'll be for the most part of 2023. So now it's going to be exploring, like, well, what belief systems have I developed, since like December of last year, because that's when Jupiter entered his retrograde shadow. So, we are pulling up a whole lot. And this week, just a lot of things are coming to the surface. So it's the caveat to, or like maybe not the caveat, what's the word I'm really looking for? It's that thing that's like, okay, Leo season is almost like our end goal. Like, there's the finish line right there, the fun, the joy, the party, the festivity, I'm gonna feel good, I want to look good. But before we get there, it's like we're seeing that. That's why I did that Ariana Grande song. We see the light, we see her, she's right there. But Sun and Mercury in Cancer have to come to Pluto first and say, let's expose, clean, and really, like, let's get to the bottom of it. And that is the energy of these oppositions to Pluto. Let's get to the bottom. Let's get to the root. Let's find the source of these dynamics that are no longer supportive, that are no longer working, and let's change them. Pluto is transformation. Maybe that change is an end. Maybe that change is like a, hey, I think we need to go to therapy to work on our dynamic or to work on our relationship. Whatever it is, I want you to pay attention. Now, if you kind of skate easy, I want you to pay attention to the people around you. I want you to pay attention to your family, because Sun is in Cancer. We're working with family dynamics. How have the infrastructures of your life, whether relationship, professional, platonic, family, how have they affected your safety, your security? How have they been, I keep hearing privacy policy in my mind. I'm like, what's that privacy policy? Like, what did you keep private, or what did someone keep private from you that now it's like, we got to talk about this. We got to air this out. We got to bring the light. I'm about to start singing again, so let me not do that. But we gotta shed the light on the darkness. That's the idea. And then when we get to Leo season, then it's time to go, okay, whew, I can breathe now and I can enjoy myself. That's the idea. Now remember, I'm giving you the cosmic ideal. Your life is your life, and if these things don't apply to you, just know that this is a general breakdown of the week's energy. So I don't want anybody being like, he's talking about all this stuff, and it's not really applying to me. Well, I just want you, if you feel that way, it's okay. This is a general reading. I'm not looking at individual charts, but I do want you to just pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention. With Mercury opposite Pluto, we're going to be hearing about something, right? So it's like, pay attention to the headlines. This is news. Pay attention to magazines. Pay attention to anywhere where you consume your media. We're gonna be hearing something. So just, keep your peepers open, okay? Just be like, let me find this Mercury-Pluto opposition. I mean, and you might be like, Graham, every day the headlines sound like a Mercury-Pluto opposition, and that's true. Especially with that full moon last week. We heard all kinds of news about, things were coming to light left and right that everybody was like, wait, what? Huh? Hey, it's just, the stars don't lie. That's it. Okay, so what else? Oh, we also have Chiron stationing retrograde. Everything I've talked about so far, other than with the exception of Leo season beginning, everything is happening Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. So the front half of this week is particularly busy. When we get to Leo season, we do have some aspects that we're going to talk about over the weekend. And the moons in general, they're making squares. So their final aspects are a square. So, with the exception of a couple of days, we have this stressful energy, this friction that we have to overcome, and that action will help us overcome the energy that we're experiencing. So we are busy this week in that sense of okay, we have to take action in order to get on the other side of what your story is right now and the stories that come up this week. So let's talk about the moons, and then we're going to switch to the planets, and I'm going to get you going so that you can enjoy your week and we can stay in touch and just keep talking throughout the week on social media. Now, I know, I'm going to go ahead and say this, Drunk Astro Memo Board. I know that I said that last week and that I wasn't as active last week, but Capricorn full moon is working on your astrologer in a very big way. And, just because I can read the energy doesn't mean that I am an exception, right? So this energy is doing powerful things in your astrologer's life, and it did kind of dampen all the things that I wanted to do. I didn't get out your full moon reports like I wanted to. If you're on the newsletter, those are the types of things that I do send, but lots of things were popping off, and I was like, okay, I think I have to step back for a second and just evaluate. So yes, the plan is to be more active with you and more, having more conversations around all these potent aspects and the energy of each week throughout social media. So if you're not on Drunk Astrology social media, make sure you go do that. On the Instagram is the main one. And then, of course, if you're not on the newsletter, get to the link in the show notes and get yourself on the newsletter so you get all kinds of cool stuff. All right, so as far as the moons go, Monday, July 18th, the moon enters Aries at 4:17 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Remember, all the times I give you will always be Pacific Daylight, so make sure you adjust for the time zones. Let's see, the Aries moon on Monday just has a square to Venus, which is, Venus is our relationship girl. She's looking for balance and harmony, so there's some kind of action that needs to be taken on the relationship front, and a conjunction to Jupiter. So we know that conjunctions can go either way, but at least on Monday, that moon is making aspects to our two benefics, right? They're mostly positively beneficial energies in the sky. And then on Tuesday the 19th, the Aries moon talks to Chiron, talks to Saturn. So, we're working on that wounding. Like I said last week, when we had that Mercury Chiron square, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, if I'm remembering correctly. There's that self-doubt energy, that second guessing that Chiron can do, especially when it's in the moon. It's just being aware of why am I second guessing this? Why am I doubting myself? Why do I feel like I can't do this? Now, underneath that, Chiron says, well, there's healing that needs to be done. There's wounds that need to be exposed and recognized and coddled and cuddled and discussed, whether, with family, with friends, with loved ones, with a therapist, with an astrologer. That's the ultimate thing that you peel back. Chiron has so many layers, and it is so about healing. And that is a huge theme this week, as on Tuesday, Chiron stations retrograde and goes, okay, let's pull back, let's soften up, and let's really evaluate the layers beneath this. And then on Wednesday, July 20th, the Aries moon goes void at 7:19 a.m., square to the sun, which means it's going void with the quarter moon, which yanks on last week's Capricorn full moon. So this is a super potent moon, and the fact that it's going void, we're really gonna pay attention to Wednesday. Now, Monday and Tuesday, I don't imagine are gonna be a walk in the park either. But Wednesday, we're yanking on that. We're going to Mercury's going to oppose Pluto on Monday. The sun's going to oppose Pluto on Tuesday. Then the quarter moon on Wednesday. It is just like bam, full moon, bam, full moon, bam, full moon. Now, how is this affecting your ability to move forward? And you have to evaluate the relationships. Let me look at my notes. What and who is blocking you from your dream life? What relationship dynamics need an overhaul or a redo? Are there some relationships that flat out just don't serve you anymore? I'm just straight up reading my notes because a lot of times I try to freeball when I record. And then I listen back and I'm like, Graham, I'm a Virgo. I edit and criticize myself like crazy. Hello, all Virgo energy, stand up. And so anyway, I'm reading you my notes. Let's see. I did that. What needs to shift within these dynamics? Is it salvageable? Only you know. And the ultimate message I want to say about this week with these oppositions to Pluto, with the quarter moon, and then Leo seasoning beginning, at Leo seasoning. Oh my gosh, Graham, Leo seasoning, good talk. We're really crushing the Astro game this week. Leo season beginning, and then also on Sunday we have Ceres, our girl that our asteroid and comet that rules, that are nurturing. And that body is our temple. Rope in some Vesta in there. But Ceres is how we nurture ourselves and take care of ourselves. Well, Ceres is going to enter Leo as well. So the message of this week is follow your heart. That is the key this week. So the oppositions can rile up a lot, but all this Leo energy that we're coming into says, but follow your heart. What the next right thing to do is what your heart tells you to do. Not what your mind thinks you want to do, not what Pluto, not what revenge tells you to do, not what vengeance tells you to do. Those are the dark sides of all this Plutonian energy. But no, Leo energy says it's your heart. Follow your heart. Your heart is the way to go. Chiron says therapy is the way to go. Healing is the way to go. Your spiritual practice, your daily practice towards encouraging yourself, motivating yourself, telling yourself you've got this, that you are worth it. And you are. And I hope that in sending that message loud and clear to you, you are worth your dreams. You are worth that with what you're going for. Your bigger vision is what you are here to do. Your biggest dream is what you're here to do. And that is the message of this week, that you're worth it. And that as long as you're following your heart, you're on the right path. And the Astro sermon for the week is over. Okay, let's get back to the moons here. Okay, on the 20th, the moon enters Taurus at 11:23 a.m. And it is in Taurus all day Thursday the 21st, making conjunctions to Mars and Uranus. So look out for a little unexpected whoop-de-whoop when it comes to your direction or when it comes to your plan. And then Friday the 22nd, the Taurus moon goes void at 4:45 p.m. with a trine to Pluto. So now that is positive forward motion, collaborative motion when it comes to working within power dynamics, power structures, power themes of power, powerful authority figures. But things are positively moving forward Wednesday morning through Friday afternoon. And then until 10:11 p.m. when the moon enters Gemini. And it is in Gemini all day Saturday the 23rd, only making a couple of aspects that are sextiles. So we're like nervous, excited about the way we're moving forward. And then Sunday the 24th, the Gemini moon makes, again, sextile to Chiron. That's great. Trine to Jupiter, even better. And then it goes void at 1:14 a.m. Monday the 25th with a square to Neptune. So communications that are a little unclear and need more communication and need more listening, right? Gemini energy says, yes, I can speak my truth, but I also need to hear your truth. It needs to hear the other sides. So it's about being curious and really looking at your options, variety. Variety is the spice of life when we got Gemini moons, okay? So, or if you're like me and I've got the Gemini on the top of my chart, the 10th house. Multiple careers or multiple interests that turn into career opportunities. That's the name of the game. You can find Gemini in your chart and go, oh, yeah, that's where I explore multiples. Just as a little fun aside. Okay, so those are the moons. And remember, the nice moons that we got are Wednesday afternoon, Thursday into Friday mid-afternoon. And the other ones on the other side, they are stress, friction, action to overcome something. Now, as far as the planets go, let's get this down in the books. So on Monday, we've got Mercury opposite Pluto at 12:01 a.m., so just after midnight Sunday night. So we're going to listen for news like late Sunday, early Monday, see what we wake up to, and we see what comes to the surface throughout the day. I wrote news of powerful structures falling, stories from the deep come to the surface. Again, that's why I was referencing Ariana Grande's song, "The light is coming to get back everything the darkness stole." Okay, then on Tuesday, very busy day. Mercury enters Leo at 5:35 a.m. So now Mercury's ready to party. He's ready to move on. He's ready to move forward, follow his heart. Now, one little one little thing to note. When Mercury gets to Leo, he can be real self-absorbed. He can be so me. And Mercury's not really like that. Mercury, loves to be in Gemini or Virgo. And in Virgo, he's super diplomatic, which is the sign right after Leo, right? So it goes, okay, wow, you've had your time. Now let's get organized. Let's make this make sense. And, let's be diplomatic about this. And in Gemini, it says, let's explore our options. So Mercury in Leo is very fun and very loud. Now, that can go either way, Leo Mercury people, they can be the life of the party, or they can be the one to take the party down in a very dramatic way. Like, I'm not getting what I want, so you're going to listen to me, and all of you suck compared to me. I could be over dramatizing it, but I'm just, if you know anybody with a Leo Mercury, you'd be like, nope, that sounds about right. I dated one time, fun fact, and it was just like that. It could be so much fun, and then also it could be like, are you for real right now? Like, your tantrum? You're gonna throw this tantrum about the wrong ice cube in your drink? I'm making this part up. But one instance that sticks out in my mind did happen at a bar, and it was so small that it was I think my phone's ringing. You know what? My phone's ringing. I'm gonna go. I gotta go. Apparently someone, oh no, someone just got into a car accident. I better go. This is a lot. And did I listen to myself? No, I did not. And should I have? Yes, I should have. So, anyway, this isn't about my old dating life. We're talking about Tuesday, July 19th, are we not? Okay, great. Let's move on. Chiron stations retrograde at 16 degrees, 26 minutes of Aries on Tuesday as well. So now we're going to look back to our wounding, this energy of the self-doubt, because Chiron's in Aries. So we're evaluating ourselves and ourselves within relationships, how we've been affected by VIP relationships in our life. So you're going to go back to March 26th when Chiron entered his retrograde shadow this time. And now you're going to look at that as chapter 1 of the story, to go, okay, from end of March to now, I have my chapter 1 of where self-doubt, second-guessing relationships, certain relationships have truly affected me and my ability to, if you don't have those defining moments that we talked about earlier, these are the relationships and the dynamics that have affected me from really going out there, stepping out into the world and saying, oh no, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. I'm confident. I feel it. I'm following my heart. My the spiritual guidance I'm getting, or that the messages I'm getting are super supportive. Chiron's going to say, okay, so now we have chapter 1. I showed you chapter 1. You lived chapter 1. Now things are getting exposed, and now it's let's evaluate. And now let's try this again. Let's get out there. Let's motivate ourselves. Let's read self-help books. I personally love Mel Robbins. She's just everything. And so, if you don't have that kind of you know, literature to consume, books or leaders, oh my gosh, feel free to message me. I have a list of books and people that are like kind of my go-tos that just really like reinforce within me like, no, no, no. Look at your gift. Look at your gift. Look at what you've done so far. The fact that you're still here with us is a triumph, especially given the state of the world the last 2+ years. Okay? All right. Anyway, moving on. Then on Tuesday the 19th, the sun is opposite Pluto at 6:39 p.m. And I wrote, we're having to earn our stripes before we get to Leo season. So this is just like that. Now, let me just say this. I wrote that down, but let me just say this. I don't believe that the universe tests us. I really don't. I don't like that whole, like, this is a test. I told him I was done with him. I was moving on. Never gonna do that again. I'm never gonna date you. I'm never gonna sleep with you again. Won't ever do it. And then that's when he texts at 11:39 p.m. when I know it's a booty call. I know it is. And I just did a whole ceremony with sage and Palo Santo and incense, and I've released him. And that's when he shows up and the universe is testing me. No, it's not. It's just asking you, did you mean it? Huh? How about that? Did you mean it? Or not? Is what the universe asks. And that's what retrogrades do too. Like you've been talking, you've come to this point. Now let me just make sure you're clear. And if you're not clear, that's okay. From the retrograde side of things, you say, let's revisit this. Let's redefine the terms of our agreement, of our relationship, of our negotiation, whatever it is. And that's good retrograde work. But I don't like that whole thing of like, oh, you're being tested. Saturn. We can get some like test of well, gosh, I have this big word that I want to use that sounds in my mind. I can't think of the word, but it would sound so impressive, and I feel like the listeners would be like, ooh. Wow, Graham, you really did get your degree in literature. Because I did, but not coming to me now. So perfect. Anyway, Saturn can be the one that kind of like tests your durability, to where you're like, did you really learn daddy's lessons or nah? That's where I think that comes in. But everything else, I just don't necessarily like that whole idea of like you're being tested. Opportunities. It's an opportunity to ask yourself, do I really mean what I say? And if you don't, okay. And if you do, fantastic. Right? Like we don't judge it. We just say like, oh, okay, I was talking big talk, and now am I going through or am I not? All right, let's go to Wednesday. We have the quarter moon we've already discussed. On Friday, sun enters Leo at 1:07 p.m. and we finally get to just let our hair down and go, okay. Now, here's what happens when we get to Leo season. The sun is now with Mercury entering Leo as well and Venus to follow, now we're going to be opposing Saturn. So now it's, talking to the big hog, talking to the boss. Now, Pluto's like dissolving and changing and exposing things in the dark. All the Leo energy is going to oppose Saturn, which is now laying down the hammer. And now that like testing energy, that responsibility, taking accountability. So structures and relationships that are now falling under all this Pluto energy with the oppositions and the full moon in Capricorn. Now when Leo season comes, this is the like the other side of all this energy says, okay, Leo sun wants you to like let your hair down and have a good time, but it is also saying, and now let's evaluate how you and others need to fix, need to, take accountability, take responsibility for what came to light under all this Cancer Capricorn. So that is like another little caveat there to Leo season. Is now we're moving out of oppositions to Pluto, and now we're moving into oppositions to Saturn, which is, I like to call the Astro Dad, and he's the one who's just like, well, you should have listened to me a long time ago. You should have, It's that, like, anytime you hear yourself say, like, I know that's what I should do, that's really like a Saturn whisper, because we know what we should do. We know the responsible thing to do. We know the right thing to do. But do we always do it? No. And that's okay. But then that's when Saturn comes around and goes, you should have done it the first time. And then, we have to experience the consequences and the repercussions of whatever the story may be. But that's the energy we're moving into. So we're going to watch that. On Saturday, we have a Mercury-Jupiter trine, so expansion, communication. It's a great time to reach out to anyone that you're, needing a helping hand from, or just kind of, it's a conversation that's about growth and evolution and moving forward in a really collaborative, juicy way. Then on Sunday, we have Venus square Jupiter at late at night, so that even goes into Monday next week. And then Ceres enters Leo on Sunday the 24th as well, which is take care of your heart. And that's why I say the message this week, loud and clear, is follow your heart. And last but not least, before I let you go, 2 days this week, and then we only have one of these days in August. 2 days this week, we have the nodes direct, and we will not have them again until one powerful day in August. But on Wednesday the 20th and Thursday the 21st, the nodes are direct. So that is the time to get out, shake hands, fated conversations, meetings. Put yourself out there. That is when you really want to infect change or to affect change in your life, to propel forward. When the nodes are direct and we have 2 days in a row, that is when you want to kind of like say, okay, what are all the things that I can get done? Who can I talk to? How can I grow, expand, and change? And think about your destiny. Think about your dream, because that is what the nodes of fate want you to do. They want you to move forward, propel in a very powerful way, an intentional way, to get you where you're trying to go next. Okay? So I'm sending you a big Drunk Astro cosmic hug. Thank you for tuning in to another week. I will see you throughout the social media. That is the plan. And again, if you're not on the newsletter, get on the newsletter. Link is below. And I will talk to you next week. Much love.